Hello everybody and happy Friday. I thought I should take a little bit of time to film something short and sweet. I've decided though that I'm going to slow everything down in December. I got done with the A to Z readathon at the very last minute, like an hour before the deadline in November. I did complete 26 books in 30 days and then I just took the next 3 days off from reading. And so over the first weekend of December, I didn't do anything really. I cleaned my house, I put up Christmas decorations, I worked on crochet projects, I binged the first season of The Tudors on Netflix, and I realized that it's been a really good year for me. Like, it feels like the world is going down the toilet, but for me, my life has gone really well this past year. It's been very exciting. Lots of things have been happening. It's been hectic and busy. And here I am in the last couple of weeks of the year, and I need more than a weekend to recuperate, to rest, you know? So I decided I needed to consciously slow everything down and do things other than read all the time and other than make videos, and it's been nice. You know, I'm a week into doing this and I've watched more booktube than I have in a long time, because when I'm not making videos I have time to watch other people's videos, and I really enjoy everybody who's doing Vlogmas and stuff. I love the daily videos. I'm getting a lot done on my crochet projects. I'm almost completely done with all of my Christmas prep, and I'm almost done with all my Christmas shopping. It's just, I've made time for these other things and it's a really lovely feeling, and I get to the end of the day and I don't feel quite as rushed as I did before. So I'm happy. But this does mean that I will have very few videos up in December, and you may or may not notice, depending on how much you care. I am still around, I'm still on social media, I'm still watching videos and everything. I'm just not making so much of my own content. But anyway, I am back to reading, but at a much slower pace, so I will show you the few things that I have on the go right now. And then I'm going to do a mini unhaul. I just realized as I sat down to film this that I hadn't taken all these books to the library for donating yet, so I could show them to you, and I thought, why not? So the Quick Friday Reads portion is that I've taken some books back to the library. I had this stack of new 2018 releases that I had checked out from the library since October. And I thought, as soon as I get done with the A to Z readathon, I'm gonna read all of my library books. That is not gonna happen. I took some of them back to the library today, and then I got one that I'm reading and one that I picked up. So I have started Red Moon by Kim Stanley Robinson. I'm like, what, 42 pages into it. I think I'm going to enjoy it, but I'm not far enough into it to really know what's going on. It is set on the moon. It seems to be set in a Chinese facility, and an American man working for a Swiss company has just been poisoned along with a Chinese official. And there's also this other man who I think is going to be one of the main characters, who's like a feng shui expert, and he's going to do feng shui on the moon. I have no idea, but it's going to be interesting. And then when I went to the library today to return some things, I actually had Wondersmith, The Calling of Morrigan Crow, waiting there for me. I requested this one. It's so brain spanking new that the plastic protective cover is not even dinged up, and it's very reflective. That's how you can tell they're super new. So I may start this one soon too. And the other one that I'm hoping to maybe finish up tonight, because it won't take that long to read, is Fire by Elizabeth Hand. This is one of the super teeny tiny outspoken authors collections. It's got a couple of short stories and an interview in it. And I started reading the first story a couple days ago. It's called The Saffron Gatherers, and it's a reread for me. I actually read it a couple months ago from an anthology, and I loved it. I loved the ending in particular. So yeah, hopefully I will read this quite quickly. I think I'm going to really like it. I have never been disappointed by any of Elizabeth Hand's short fiction, actually, so this is right up my alley. So that is pretty much it. I'm not committing myself to too much. I have some things that are still on my currently reading shelf on Goodreads that I would like to finish by the end of the year to clear the decks, but I'll talk about that later. It's not a high priority right now. Now on to the mini unhaul portion of this video. So first up, I'm getting rid of Content Rules. This is by Anne Handley and CC Chapman. I have nothing to say about this. I did not read it. I bought this 3 or 4 years ago. Periodically, I buy books for professional development to read about topics that interest me and relate to what I do at work and everything. This particular one is about like writing for blogs and websites and stuff, and it's not interesting to me anymore. It's not really relevant, so I flipped through it. I'm never gonna read it. In a similar vein, I got rid of the Canterbury Tales by Geoffrey Chaucer. I bought a used copy from the library bookstore for like $1 4 years ago, I think. I was in the middle of reading the Hyperion Cantos by Dan Simmons, and the first book in that quartet, Hyperion, is kind of based on the structure of the Canterbury Tales. So I thought, oh, I love this series, I'm going to read the Canterbury Tales. That did not happen. So I got rid of my copy. I actually gave it to my mom. She needed the unabridged edition for her well-educated mind reading program, so that went to a good home. And then some things that you'll probably recognize because I've mentioned them in videos over like October and November. I'm getting rid of the Best Science Fiction and Fantasy of the Year, Volume 3 by Jonathan Strahan. I bought the first 3 volumes of this anthology series to just cherry pick stories, and that's what I did. I think I read stories from this over Dewey's 24-hour readathon in October, and I'm done with it now. I'm getting rid of Queens of Innis Lear by Tessa Gratton. One of those books I tried reading for the A to Z readathon, and it was not really my thing. It was too slow. I couldn't get into it. But this is one, though, that my library will probably put into their collection when I donate it because it's new and it's in nice condition. And should I ever feel like attempting it again, it will be waiting for me. I'm getting rid of Primary Inversion, which I did read but didn't like very much, and The Braided World by Kenyon. Both of these I talked about when I did a Try a Chapter Tag Unhaul edition for them. I kept trying to read more of The Braided World to make up my mind about it, and I would read a chapter and think, well, that was interesting. And then I would promptly forget about it. And then I would find it again and read another chapter and then forget about it again, so I DNF'd it. There's always more by Kenyon out there for me to try reading. And these last 3 were things that I also read or attempted to read for the A to Z readathon. I have 2 copies of Gatecrashers. I have an ARC and I have a finished copy. I'm going to give both of them to the library, and once again, they'll probably add the finished one to the library catalog. I liked this book. I just don't think I'm going to reread it. I think there may be sequels in the future, and I might read those. Then I did read Pilot X by Tom Merritt. I did not like this. I did not think it was very good. I don't need to say anything more about it. And the last one is Yaktinia, which I also DNF'd because it wasn't, well, let's say it was not proofread very well. I will make no judgments about the story because I did not get far enough into it to even know what was going on. But yeah, when I made my last unhaul video, some people asked me what I actually do with the books that I get rid of. Like, how do you get rid of them? And for me, it's very simple. I donate all of the books I get rid of to one of my local library systems. They have a Friends of the Library Association that manages the donations, and they have a bookstore that's open year-round, and they do book sales periodically. So I give it to them, and they usually, like, they'll pick some books to put into the library collection if they need them, and everything else they'll just sell through the bookstore. So it's part of how I support the library. I also sometimes keep a few so I can like send them out on book swap sites like Paperback Swap or Book Mooch or whatever. I keep a couple around sometimes so that I can get a credit quickly so I can order something if I need to, but right now I don't need any extra credits, so these are all going out to the library tomorrow. So I think that's it for me this Friday. I am probably going to crash hard. I feel like I need a nap. So I will probably sit on the couch and watch more of the Tudors on Netflix this evening. Maybe I'll do some crocheting, maybe I'll do some reading. Let's be honest, I'll probably just watch the Tudors. But I hope you had a wonderful week and that you enjoy your weekend, and I'll be back to talk to you again whenever. I'm going to try to do my final wrap up for the last 4 or 5 books I read for the A to Z readathon, and I'll be done with that and not worry about anything else. So whenever that may be. Thank you so much for watching. It was probably a very out there video, but you know, that's just how I'm feeling. Bye.